Alrighty, welcome to the Crossfire Award slash what were we at again?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl preview award show. The moment y'all been waiting for. We have an hour and 23 minutes until the Super Bowl. I have a little timer on the bottom right. We are joined by Revival, Savage, J Billa ain't here, I don't know where he at, and a few other guests. with Joe, XXIMBG, and OG Bean. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show because we're on a timer. Let's go ahead and start with the top 10 players of the year. I'm gonna put like a little thing on the left. Hopefully it doesn't really show any. Which one is it? This one. Okay, it's a black screen for now. Just a heads up, I don't have any videos for the players like last year. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you all the stats, and whoever's on the show can go ahead and put a little input on it. Before we start, Revival or Dallas, is there anyone for sure that will be in the top 10? Is there anyone that in particular that y'all will guess?
Revival, I'll let you go first.
Probably Christian Watson.
Christian Watson.
Okay. Christian Watson, pretty set in stone player. Besides, a couple of the obvious, I'm gonna say I hope Patrick Mahomes or Quay Walker is on this list. Quay Walker was pretty nuts whenever you looked at his stats.
Alrighty, Quay Walker and Christian Watson, two Packers players. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start it. For number 10, hope I don't mess up any commands here. Nope. What's going on? Number 10 is going to be Leon Ball from the Chicago Bears, rookie. Leon Ball Jr., not senior. He had 330 rushing attempts, 17 games played, 2,420 rushing yards, with 24 rushing touchdowns. And not only with those 24 touchdowns, he had 60 break tackles on the season, which is quite impressive. Do you have any comments on Leon Ball Jr. for being top 10? No comment? Yes, it is Nick Foles, but we're just gonna call him Leon Ball Jr.
I mean, I would say anytime you ever watched him play, he was an explosive player. So he was also the type, if you blitzed and he got past your linebackers, he has the speed and ability of definitely breaking it down the field.
Right. Leon Ball Jr. is also the kryptonite of Jody and the Packers. If you go ahead and go in depth with those two games, Joe faced against Leon Ball Jr. Let's go ahead and go to week 4, where the Bears actually got their first win against the Packers. 313 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 break tackles. And then if you go ahead and go over to week 10, I didn't even watch the game, but the high scoring game. Leon Ball 250 rushing yards with 3 touchdowns. That is quite impressive for a rookie like that. Let's go ahead and go to number 9, who is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens. Any comments for Lamar Jackson being number 9?
I'll let you go first, Dallas, if you have anything to say.
My bad. One of our coaches just called me. Real quick, just to rewind the Leon Ball, what I was saying was I was kind of surprised he made it. Not gonna lie to you, it seemed like half of his stats came against one user. Not gonna say who that user was, but we know what it is. Lamar Jackson. He's at 9, right?
Yeah, he's at number 9.
Okay. Lamar Jackson, I mean, the man was literally just gonna throw the ball to DK and like Lamar is a problem, man. Lamar is a problem. So he deserves a spot at number 9.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go over to Lamar Jackson's stats. 82 touchdowns, passing touchdowns. 48 interceptions, which is not too bad
Oh,
for a pass-heavy team. 6,404 passing yards, and with those passing yards, half of them went to DK Metcalf. So no comment on that. Rushing yards for Lamar, 552 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, and only 83 attempts. So pretty good for number 9. Let's go ahead and go on to number 8. Unless Revival, you have any comments for that?
I feel like Lamar could be utilized a lot more than what he is.
Especially on the running part.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Dallas, you sound like you got something stuck there.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep the pace of the show going. I'll just keep it to yeah. I'll just keep it to yeah.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to number 8. It is going to be Devin White from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Devin White, one of my favorite players on the Bucs. Not trying to be biased here, but let's go ahead and go over to the stats. 15 games, only 15 games he played. 26 solo tackles, 16 interceptions, with 16 of them being 2 touchdowns. 2 forced fumbles. And to note and comment on the 16 interceptions, he is actually leading the league for interceptions for this year, which is quite phenomenal.
I mean, Devin White was a turnover machine. 26 solo tackles is kind of like surprising for a middle linebacker. But besides that, I mean, his coverage abilities kind of reign supreme amongst everyone for the most part. So I perfectly respect Devin White at number 8, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, from my standpoint, 26 solo tackles, that's nothing. Channing Tindall, 58 solo tackles.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if Devin White is on this list, I'm expecting Tindall to be on this list. That's me personally, but I don't know.
We'll find out. Revival, you have anything to say about Devin White being on number 8?
Nothing. Nothing but then he's just a fast ass linebacker that can get interceptions.
Believe it or not, he did not get any development upgrades from his performance this
That's
year.
sad.
That was the most shocking thing to me, honestly.
Yeah, he never. I don't think he ever got a breakout game with Devin White yet.
I was actually gonna ask about that. I wonder if these guys that are like top performers are not getting traits because we have the threshold for development traits at the minimum. So maybe it's like the game is like waiting for people to retire, so there's an open slot.
Maybe.
You think that's a possibility?
Maybe, but there is a limit to where you can have X amount of development for the entire league. But I have that off, so I don't know if that's
Gotcha.
that would have affect anything.
Okay.
But without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to number 7. It's going to be Kyler Murray from the Cincinnati Bengals. He was acquired from the Commanders to the Bengals in a trade with Joe Burrow and Kyler Murray. And he did highly expectations with the Bengals. Revival or Dallas, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, Bryce single-handedly saved Kyler Murray's career because, he was in the hands of Thimp at first. Enough said. Then he was in the hands of Ungwe, which Ungwe hated Kyler Murray. And then Bryce put him in with his offense with all those weapons. And Kyler was a problem for a lot of people, man. Bryce loves him. He gave him that little running ability on top of everything. Like, Kyler is legit.
Yeah, comparing stats from last year to this year, the interception numbers went down significantly from 70 interceptions last year to 35. So let's just say both of them found their quarterback for the future. I don't know about Bryce though, because I did see him put on trade block after his
He
playoff
ain't trading
game,
him. He not
but
trading.
you never know. But I don't know if anyone's gonna be really taking Kyler Murray's contract though, unless Bryce is willing to give him up for cheap. But I don't know if the committee will allow that, so I think he just stuck with him unless he releases him.
Please cut him.
Revival, you got anything to say about Kyler Murray at number 7?
I mean, he definitely saved his career. He definitely performed very well with them,
Mm-hmm.
especially with certain ability traits that he has with him compared to what he had with Joe Burrow. I feel like he actually downgraded. I mean, every user is different. You know what I mean? So I know there's probably was the big thing was the whole I don't want to pay a quarterback mass amount of money. But I mean, I feel like he's there's the ceiling is there's like like the ceiling is just so high for him now that I feel like next year with with the draft coming up and all that and possibly seeing what's in the free agency because looking at people's cap space, I don't think people understand the whole money management issue, and they're gonna be very surprised when we get to the off season and they get to that re-sign tab that they're not gonna be able to sign hardly anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna throw any teams out there, but if you check, you'll see there's some teams that are not gonna be able to sign anybody. They're literally gonna have to cut people just to have people on the roster. So, but I mean, Kyler performed very well, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
we should see him for MVP race. I would say next season.
Oh, for sure. Um, let's go ahead and move on to number 6, and it is gonna be also the Cincinnati Bengal, Chase
Mhm.
Young. Chase Young at number 6. Um, let's go ahead and go over his stats for Chase Young. 42 solo tackles at defensive end, 27.5 sacks, with 2 forced fumbles. Do we have any comments for that? Bryce, are you in the chat, dude? He is in the chat. Do you have anything to say for being number 7 and number 6 for top 10 players?
When you trade an X Factor quarterback, you kind of expect to get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Trading for Kylo, it was more of like if I can make him an X Factor quarterback, I might keep him. He's on the block, but I'm waiting for someone to give me something like that Joe Burrow trade. So he is on the block.
Okay.
And then Chase Young, I needed him.
Oh, yeah.
Season 1, I think I had like 15 sacks, and he had 20. Chase Nolan had 27 this year. So it's just one of those things that like you trade an X Factor quarterback, you make your team overall better. You just make the team better as a whole instead of being
Mm-hmm.
offensive heavy. And now I feel like I have a somewhat good defense and a somewhat good offense.
All right. Did you have any offers for Murray yet, or just
I have two. I won't name the names.
is it something that you might like push forward to, or you're just
Uh,
gonna hold it?
One of them I might push if he could manage to get a decent quarterback and a decent quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. All right. Revival or Dallas? Are y'all surprised or um
Yeah, man. Not surprised.
not
Chase Young
surprised?
wrecked havoc all season. Like he's ever since he's been in that, or ever since he's been in the league, he's been one of those guys where like you want him on your team because he just wrecks
Mm-hmm.
games. He's a game wrecker.
Okay.
No surprise for me. I mean, like I said, he's definitely one of those players as a game changer. And
Mm-hmm.
then to chime on what Bryce said is you definitely need balance on offense and defense. If you gamble too much and put all your eggs in one basket on offense, you then see in a lot of games where it comes down to your defense. You don't really have those guys to step up and make plays, and so kudos to him for getting Chase Young.
All right. And Coach Bryce over here gave Chase Young the number 69, just pointing it out there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to number
That's what
5.
Madden gave.
What's that?
That's what Madden gave him, but you know why I
Oh,
kept it.
okay.
You know why I kept it.
Okay, I understand. We understand. Number 5. Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers. Joe, you're in the building. You got anything to say about that? For Aaron Rodgers?
You know, I'm not surprised he's on this list, but I'm surprised he's number 5. Like,
Oh.
there's no way there's 3 players better than him. Know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting him to be number 2. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Okay. Um. Well, I'll pull up the stats. Revival or Dallas. You got anything to say about Aaron Rodgers being at number 5? Is he underrated, overrated? Just
I
the same
I
amount?
I think he was underrated. I
Mm-hmm.
think he definitely. I agree with Joe. He should have definitely been up there. Um, he should at least, but I would have put him at least top 3. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Arguably, you could say top 2, but definitely top 3. So I'm interested to see who's above him.
Okay.
I want to say I might be wrong, but because I can't fully remember my poll voting stuff.
Yeah.
I know myself. I only voted for one quarterback, I believe, and that was Patrick Mahomes. Because I did change a little bit of my voting parameters. Like I went with efficiency. So, like, if I see a lot of interceptions, like me personally, yes, you threw a lot of touchdowns as well, but I looked at
Mm-hmm.
like the touchdown to interception ratio. So I didn't pick Rodgers personally because of that interception ratio. That's all. If he was able to cut down on the ints, then yes. But me personally, I didn't. I didn't give a vote because I'm preaching efficiency nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Well, in my opinion, I just think people just hate Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, so they just, they didn't really vote on him. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Me
I agree.
personally, I think he should have been ranked higher. You know, I mean, interceptions is at 50, but again, hitting the 100 mark on the touchdowns, I think he should have been ranked higher in my opinion. Um, let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Number 4 is gonna be it's your guy, Savage, Dallas. Um, Kenneth Walker at number 4. You got anything to say about?
Hey, I mean, the man was my offense. Without Kenneth Walker, there is no 12 wins. I might have been a 3-win team.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Walker was a problem for everybody for the most part. Multiple 200-yard games, multiple 300-yard games. Kenneth Walker was my offense. We went as far as he was going to take us. That's all I really got to say. He finally has abilities now. So he got it in a little dev upgrade. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe next season is going to be a fun season, to say the least.
Okay.
Best running back.
All right, that's Dallas there putting his 2 cents onto Kenneth Walker. And I do agree, Kenneth Walker was really your only offense. I mean, you had Zach Wilson. He got a dev upgrade, right?
I mean, he was close. He was
He was
close.
close. Was it really close? Zach Wilson?
Hey,
Mm.
he
He
Mm.
did
was
his
not
job
close at
handling.
all.
He did his job handling.
19 touchdowns, 40 interceptions. I don't know about that one.
Whoa.
What?
Hey, you can say 40 interceptions. A good chunk of those was not me. I will say that. You got
Okay.
there's another
Okay.
user that threw about 15, 20. I ain't gonna say
Oh.
no.
Okay. Well, you threw the other 20. I'm not gonna say anymore. Um, Revive, got anything to say about Kenneth Walker being number 4?
Um, no, I mean I'm surprised he's over Aaron, Aaron
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers. But I still feel like he's still a good running back. He's definitely top tier running back in the league.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and go over Kenneth Walker's stats real quickly. In 17 games, he had 367 carries, 2,782 rushing yards, with 31 rushing touchdowns, tied for the rushing record in Crossfire, tied with Travis Etienne. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that? Travis Etienne also got 31 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, on the season too.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
For
No,
for
we're good. We're good.
rushing yards, he broke it, but for
Uh-huh.
touchdowns, he's tied.
Hey.
36 broken tackles, including on that too. Um, No, actually, on a note, out of those 367 attempts, you only have one fumble out of the entire season, which is actually quite impressive.
Hey, he's a bell cow.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to number 3, the top 3 players of the season. DK Metcalf at number 3.
Oh hell.
If you got no one else to throw it to, just find number 7 on the field and just throw it up to him. DK Metcalf.
Revival, take it away.
Yeah, Revival, go ahead. Take it.
You got the most experience.
Uh, he he was a pain in the ass. I mean, that's just all what it comes down to. If there was a way we could, break his legs on the field, I would have did it first game.
Oh,
Um,
putting a bounty
you
on
know,
it.
you
Okay.
yeah, put the bounty out there, Sean Payton style. Um, there'd be times where there'd be two, a corner and a safety out there, and he would still be able to get it. I think he
Mhm.
was playing. I think he was playing the Chiefs. I think it was Wade, and I think Wade was about to retire after the game he played with them because, you know what I mean. It gets frustrating. But we've also watched users be able to stop him and clamp him down. I forgot which user. I know it's one of these ones in the on the show with us today, but one of them clamped him down and I think kept him under, I think, a couple catches, I think like two or
Mhm.
three. Can't remember who it was, but it's doable. It's just he's just very frustrating if you don't have the right pieces,
Right.
on your defense to contain him. I think he definitely changed the way users line corners with him,
Mhm.
because now you have to have tall corners with, guarding him. You can't have no short midget 5'11", no matter how good he is guarding him, because he's just going to jump over him, hop on his shoulders, catch the ball, and run it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, the eye catch. Um, Bryce, you're also in the chat. You had the most experience playing against DK. It seems like that you locked him down in week 12 and
Mm-hmm.
week 16 also. So you're actually one of the few users who locked down DK Metcalf. So you got any comments for that?
It was a fucking headache just to
Mm.
deal with that dude.
Oh. Mhm.
I had to double team him. Put AJ Terrell and Daxton Hill and just pray to God he didn't catch it. Most of the time, I got the knockout with it. But I
Mhm.
mean, DK is a glitch. Like that dude is a glitch. I would say that.
And also, we had the famous words from Wolfpack, DK who, whenever the
Mm.
Titans defeated the Baltimore Ravens. Um, just pointing out there as well. Alright, we have almost an hour left until the Super Bowl. Just letting y'all know the timer down below. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2 out of the top 10. Oh, wrong button. And that is gonna be Christian Watson for number 2. He was also number 2 last year. For the top 10. Well, I'll get the stats up. Do you have any comments for Christian Watson being at number 2?
I'll let Joe talk about his boy. I don't have nothing to say.
I got a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
First off, how is he not number 1 when he won
Mm-hmm.
MVP?
Oh.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, well, that's what I was thinking. I didn't get this far. You know, as a fellow light skin, like Christian Watson himself, he's a big inspiration for me.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see him on my screen, I have to hold myself back not to like kiss him. He's a very great player, very good receiver.
Dallas, you're kind of
We can go to player one. We can go to player one.
okay.
On
Okay,
that
player
note.
number 1.
I had to mute myself. I was fucking dying laughing. I was about to piss myself listening to that shit.
Before we reveal number 1, do you guys have any guesses of who will be number 1?
All I
Rashawn
know,
Gary. That's my guess. It has to be Rashawn Gary at this point.
Okay, Rashawn Gary might be up there. Revival Dallas. Hell, even
you have to touch that machine in Travis. You had
Mhm.
Rashawn Gary. You had Joe had a couple players for defense that was crazy. Mahomes also, I said, was a really good guy. I'll say it'll have to be Rashawn Gary. It has to be.
And y'all are
I'll go
correct.
with them.
The last one, oh fuck, Revival. I completely forgot, man. It was your
No,
guess.
you're good. No,
You,
you're
you
good. It's Rashawn
sure?
Gary. That's my guess.
Okay. Number one, Rashawn Gary. All righty. Let's go ahead and go over the stats for Rashawn Gary. Where is he at? 39 solo tackles, 34.5 sacks on the season. One first forced fumble, one fumble return. That is A plus defensive stats on a very pass heavy league. Do you guys have any comments on that?
Um, did
I'll
he
let you
break
go
any
first.
records
He broke
That's what I
the
was about.
sack record.
for the Crossfire or for? I mean,
Uh,
obviously, I know he did it for the league itself, but
yeah, for Crossfire. I
gotcha.
think the previous holder, Chase Young was in second. But I don't know about before then. I don't know who it was before this year.
I mean, he was a pretty dominant player. Like me personally, I say the two most dominant players this season was Rashawn Gary and Kenneth Walker, aka the record breakers.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Just more Kenneth Walker love next season. Wait, whoa? Can we change that graphic? Why is Miles Sanders at number 4?
Hmm? Oh
And
shit! I messed up.
we good.
I think Ravens put him in there when he killed him at that 1 week when he put him
Oh
out for
man.
26 weeks.
So number 4 is Kenneth Walker, not Miles Sanders. He said, disregard that. Okay, I'll fix it later.
All right. I mean, yeah. Besides that, I guess for y'all, is there anybody that like y'all are surprised didn't make? For me, I'm very like Travis was legit dominant this season, so I'm honestly surprised he didn't make it because he had like 38 touchdowns, 39 in total. Like that's crazy, and his receiving yards was pretty solid too. So I'm honestly surprised.
I'm surprised Patrick Mahomes wasn't voted more. Um, Out of the whole entire thing, he only been voted 4 times. Um, with the stats, 64 touchdowns and 28 interceptions. I think the TD and interception ratio there, I thought he would have had more eyes on him, but it seemed like he was the least voted quarterback out of the entire quarterbacks out of the voting process. But some famous words, it is what it is, I guess. So
That's interesting.
Revival.
Did Tyndall get any love by chance?
Tyndall,
Because
2
he was at
votes.
like 120. Wow, okay. Because he had crazy tackles.
Mm-hmm. Actually, number 9 was not number 9. 11 was Travis
Yeah, who
Etienne.
just Travis Etienne so barely
He
missed the
just
cut.
missed
Okay.
it. Leon Ball was voted one up.
All right.
Alright, let's go ahead and move on to segment 2, unless any of y'all have other comments before we move on. No? Alrighty. Segment 2 is going to be the award show, an award show itself of users. Users voted on best new user and the command man moment's the best moment, and so on and so forth. We have a few that joined us in the Discord server now that did win it. So without further, let's go ahead and start this segment. Best new user. Best new user is Dez, AJ Spider, or OG Bean. These 4 were did join this year or rejoin this year, and got in the voting process of being the best new user. And the winner of that is OG Bean. OG Bean, you here?
Come on, Beans. I know you got to be here. Oh, he's typing. Oh, my Jesus Christ.
You don't even know.
No. He's walking to his microphone to talk. He was in the bathroom. You know. But
Well, I
I
would wait.
mean, well,
Oh,
yeah.
my bad.
Bean was before while we're waiting for him. Like Bean was the guy I had high expectations for, and I believe for this category I also voted for Bean. I mean, the man literally made the Super Bowl in his first full season in here. It's only like one other user I can think of off the top that did something like that. And
this motherfucker.
we'll see if he can match what that other user did. But I mean, Bean is that guy, dude. Bean is that guy. Very well deserved. Dez could have made play. Whoa! Could have made playoffs, but life caught up to him. So things happen. So Bean, I believe he's definitely was the lock for this award.
Bean, you won the award for best new user. You got any comments for winning that award? Voted by the users?
It's simple. Just the best user here.
Oh,
New user.
He's scared.
All right.
Okay. A lot of work.
So Bean was voted 72.7%. Dez was voted 22.7%. AJ was voted 4.5%. And then Spida was never even voted on for best new user. Let's just go ahead and skip that award because I don't like that. Best come on man moment of this year. So we're gonna go ahead and put up all the videos of the best for the come on man. Starting with the Titans missed field goal. So this dumbass missed the field goal, wide right. Clicking the button too early. And then here you go, this dumbass again. Line up for the field goal.
I missed it.
And then he got the Cody Park doink versus the Jaguar.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh wow! Wow!
Then it's gonna be me, just trying to do the, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was doing laterals, and I boinked the football to his helmet, and then he ran all the way back for 6. And I don't even know what to call this. The Browns decided to throw up the ball in triple coverage. I don't know what he was reading. Try to lateral it. Browns picked it up. Browns lateral it again. I don't know what they're playing, but definitely not football. And then the Cardinals went ahead and picked it up for a score at an interception. Now, last but not least, the Eagles missed field goal. Miss wide left. Nothing but net. So before we go ahead and announce this winner, what is y'all's prediction or favorite come on man moment of this year? It's a new award that we introduced, so
Wolves to me is the funniest, but like in terms of straight chaos, it has to be the Cardinals Browns for me. Like I have no idea how to even describe a play like that if somebody asks me what happened. Revival.
If Wolf doesn't win, we're rioting. Just saying.
Alrighty, so without further ado, the winner of this award is Wolfpack. So Wolfpack was not able to join the podcast, but he did comment. If I win, all I gotta say is I won't disappoint next season. All right. Best moment of season 9. I don't have a video for the Packers comeback win, but he was down 22-42 against the Bengals, and then somehow he came back with only 3 in the third quarter at the minute left, and somehow he came back and won that. But for the other 3, I do got clips for that, so just go ahead and watch that. So first video is going to be the Dolphins lateral, double lateral. And then next is going to be Kenneth Walker breaking multiple tackles and bringing it into the end zone. And the last one is going to be Joe Burrow's clutch moment in the final seconds, tied. Throwing it up. Connecting with Terry McLaurin. So with this reward, before we announce it, do you have any comments of your opinions of the best moment of season 9?
I think Joe versus Bryce. Chat was going crazy.
Uh-huh.
In general, that was like it was the game that was kind of like the makeup for the Super Bowl, or that we thought of at least at the time. Before things happen. And so I would say Joe's comeback was unreal. That has to be best moment.
I agree.
Joe's comeback's gonna win it.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and reveal the best moment of season 9. And that is going to be Joe. Congratulations to you for winning the best moment of season 9. Do you have any comments for that? Were you like in panic mode whenever you were down by that much? Or were you just like, fuck it, and let me just throw it up to my receivers?
Yeah, I wasn't really panicking. I just was like accepting my loss. Like, what am I have to do with the chat? Like, Bryce owned me again. Like, what am I gonna do with myself? But then Ungui, in my Twitch chat, he said lock in, and then I had to focus for him. Had to win the game for him.
Oh, so you gotta give credit to Uguay then, since he gave you that motivation. Props to him too. And props to you for making a big comeback. Because if you would have lost, Bryce would have taunted you for many
For a
years
while.
down the road.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and move on to best supporter user of season 9. The 5 candidates for this is gonna be Jay Billa, DC, Dallas, Ed, or Revival. Best supporter in terms of podcast, blogging, supporting on Twitter, etc. So this was voted by the users, and the award goes to Revival. Revival, you here, dude?
I'm here.
You here? So you
Yep.
won best supporter of season 9. You got any comments for that?
I appreciate the award. At least it lets me know that the work that I put in doesn't go unnoticed. I'm hoping that it encourages other people to participate and definitely get more involved, because this is like a community. So for this league to be better and better, we just need more people just to put their extra 15 minutes, 20 minutes in, just to kind of do little things to make the league a little bit better. Because at the end of the day, this is a hobby for most of us.
Yeah.
And we just want to have fun. And in the midst of having fun, I mean, we can definitely take this league and make it something special and do something that no other league has done, as long as everybody's committed. So hopefully this motivates people to want to do more.
Yeah, I do appreciate every single one of y'all supporting, putting in the work and effort beyond just the game itself. Because yes, this is a hobby for most of us. This is a hobby for me. We do work 9 to 5 jobs, most of us, schooling. Somebody leaked my photo. How do y'all get that photo? I don't know. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next award. Most improved user of season 9. There's only 3 candidates for this award. It's gonna be Uguay, Jacob, and Themp. Most improved in terms of last year to this year. So last year, Uguay went 9-8, and then this year he went 12-5. Themp went 4-13, then he went to 8-9 this year. Jacob was 5-12 from the Titans, and then he improved to 12-5, I believe. Without further ado, let's go ahead and announce the winner for most improved user of season 9, and that is going to be Themp. Unfortunately, Themp is no longer in the league, but he did say he is proud to be the most improved player of season 9. It was voted by the users. Themp won 36.4%, and then the other two were tied at 31.8%. So let's go ahead and move on to comeback user of the year. Comeback user is 3 candidates: Uguay, Jay Billa, and Dez. Now this is a award for this year, this season. So Jay Billa went from 3-5 to 11-6. Uguay went from 0-4 to 12-5. Then Dez joined in at 0-3, and then finished the season off at 10-7, and somehow missed the playoffs being at 10-7. That's how skillful the NFC is. But let's go ahead and announce the winner for that. And the award goes to Uguay. I actually did not have any comments from Uguay. I don't think so. Oh, he did say something. So, quote unquote, this is the way. Shout out Jay Billa, The Creed, and DEO. And then he wrote, P.S. Themp ran from the grind. Do you have any comments for those 2 awards? Anybody?
Yeah, man. Uruguay turned his season around, going on a blazing hot streak until I forgot, who did he lose to? Did he lose to no? Who did he lose to?
Buffalo the last game. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think at that
Oh,
point
well.
though, he was like pretty much he was already
He was
clinched the
already-
playoffs. There's like no point playing it.
Yeah, he was just trying to play me. Who did he lose to in the playoffs? I forgot. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, he lost
Oh,
against
well.
Jacob.
Okay, then he lost to Jacob in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which, hey man, that's one hell of a season to have, especially like, hey man, it was not looking good for Uruguay at the start. He was gonna get clowned if he did not go on the run he did.
When did he acquire Joe Burrow? Was it week 5?
Yes, because he
Was it
lost his
week
first game with he lost his first game with Burrow.
Okay.
It was week 2.
It might have been quicker. No, it
It was week 2 because I only played 1 game with Joe.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was faster because he lost a couple games with Joe. Then it was like he started to
Yeah. Once he figured out he lost against me, he pulled out the ebooks. So I can really understand.
You know how it goes.
Hey, when you lose to me, you gotta change something. Revival, got anything to say about comeback player of the year?
I definitely he should definitely give himself a pat in the back to take your season. I mean, going 0-4
Mm-hmm.
is definitely not an easy hill to climb. I mean, being 0-4 in that division on top of it, because that was a tough division, somewhat. You know what I mean? You still had the Eagles and the Giants going at it, so. But for him to make that trade, that was a good trade on his behalf as a GM,
Yeah.
being able to get Burrows, you know what I mean, and then being able to fit him into his scheme, and then win like I think like what 10 straight or however many he won. You know what I mean, and get into the playoffs. I mean, that's definitely a big accomplishment. So shout out to him for doing that.
Yeah, with Uruguay going 0-4, I thought for sure Dallas was gonna, um, not the Cowboys, but Savage, was gonna take the division with ease. Because at the time he was 4-1, and Uruguay was 1-4. So I thought for sure Dallas was gonna take it away. The Cowboys, he's not gonna win that division for the rest of the cycle. But
Yeah.
yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to most disappointed user of season 9. We got 5 candidates for this one. It is gonna be AJ. Finishing the season off at 5-12. Napalm, from going on a playoff run to 4-13 this year. T Kells, again going from the playoffs to the garbage can, 5-12. King, the Patriots, 5-12, and then Wolfpack at 4-13. So the award for this is gonna be AJ. Congrats to you, or sorry for you. AJ at 59.1%. For being the most disappointed, and the runner-ups were Napalm and T-Kells at 18.2. So, do you have any comments for AJ?
He's terrible.
Yeah, I about to say like I did. AJ was this guy. I remember whenever I first joined, everybody was talking about AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Then he comes back eventually, and like AJ was not a threat at all this season. Like he's not a good user.
Oh.
So I mean, cool. Like, all right, have fun missing playoffs again next season. But
and before the season too, everyone thought the Lions would have been in last place, but at some point the Lions were in first, and then somehow he slipped at the end. So who do I want to say? Joe, do you have any comments for AJ being the most disappointed?
Yeah, I mean, like, 4th in the NFC North, he's terrible. He's never going to be anything in life. Like, he should just give up.
Oh.
Damn. Okay. Can't remember. I don't think AJ won a division game outside of his matchups versus one user. I wish I could remember who it was, but there was one user. It seemed like he just gave problems for. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that user's on this show right now.
Oh, it is? Okay. Let's see. It's not the Dolphins, not the Cardinals.
I didn't play him, so it can't be me.
Yeah. Crazy what 700 rushing yards in 2 games will do, man. It's crazy.
And it's not OG Bean, because he just posted the TikTok clip he did in chat, so it's not him.
Yeah. Is it Joe? Is it you?
It might be Joe.
Hey, I'm ready for the next award. Let's get the next award, please.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the last award for season 9. Best user of season 9, and we have 5 candidates right here. XXIMBG the Bengals, we got the Bucks, Ice JJ Wade, Uguay, and then Joe Dean. Before I announce this award, can I have a drum roll, please? Anyone?
Dun-dun-dun.
All right. And the award goes to XXIMBG. Congratulations to you for winning Best User of Season 9. You're here in the chat. Do you have any comments for that?
To me, it doesn't mean anything because I feel like the overall goal is just to win the Super Bowl. I
Yeah.
appreciate the votes and all, but
Mhm.
like end of the day, I'd rather win a bowl than be voted number one. So
I
kind of
respect
pointless at
that.
that point.
I respect that.
Alrighty. So that concludes all the awards for this season. We have 32 minutes and 43 seconds until the Super Bowl. That's gonna be live on Snipes TV. So let's go ahead and move on to the third segment, and that is gonna be preview Super Bowl matchup. So I'm gonna have Savage and Revival take that away. So go on ahead, yo.
Excuse me. Obviously, you know, we got a big time matchup coming up. We got OG Beaninator and we got Joe Dean. So, with that being said, obviously you got Christian Watson, Rodgers, Lazard, the demon in the defenses with Rashawn Gary, you know, so on and so on and so on and so on. So, Bean, I got a question for you. Partner, are you here?
Oh,
OG Bean, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know, this is your first full season in Crossfire. I was just wondering, like, were you already expecting to be an instant, you know, Super Bowl lock or instant Super Bowl contender, or did you think it was going to take, you know, a little bit of time for you to build your roster the way you wanted to get here?
I have the Chargers, so I kind of knew I was gonna be here in the bowl. A couple bums in the AFC, like the Jags, they don't know how to
Oh,
win. They won it
oh,
last year. They didn't deserve to be there, so easy win. Too much.
so you consider the Jags user a bum? With that being said, the Jags
Horrible.
user pulled off one of, you know, the biggest upsets last season in modern Crossfire Super Bowl history.
That
With
was a
that
fluke.
being said, hey, it was a fluke. Now you were playing the same user that he just played. So with that being said, if he can do it, are you saying that you are a lock to win the Super Bowl?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say, Bean's a great player. I wouldn't want to disrespect him, but Ken, however, he's terrible. I don't even know how he made the bowl, but it was a fluke game. He got lucky.
Okay. Joe, man, this is going to be your third Super Bowl appearance of the cycle. It's been some tough times, obviously, in the first two. Do you feel like this is the one? This is where you finally get the monkey off your back for this cycle?
You know, I wouldn't say this is the one. I wouldn't say it isn't the one. You know, I'm just gonna go out there, play as best as I can, and hopefully I'll get the win.
Okay. OG Beaninator. You know, you're finally here, you know, getting ready for the big game coming up in about tick under 30 minutes. First of all, how are you feeling about the game? And also, like, what do you feel is the most important thing that you need to execute in order to pull off the victory versus the Packers?
I'm feeling pretty good. Two 17-year-olds are just running a old man's league. Bunch of old people here. We're just running it. I think one key to the game would probably stopping those streaks that Jody runs so well. Yeah.
Okay. For you, Joe, what is things that Bean does really well that you're like, okay, like we got to be locked in. We got to, you know, we got to be on our P's and Q's.
He also, you know, he has a very good passing game. He's got Mike Williams and the other dude, I forget his name, but you know, he got nerfed after the draft. It's pretty crazy. It's like the justice system and Jagoda, like he really, you know, he messed up,
Bro.
and they made it to the Super Bowl with regardless of the attributes that got took from him. So the number one plan has got to be stopping his passing game.
Okay. I noticed a lot of y'all, or excuse me, not a lot of y'all, both of y'all are talking, you know, big on passing game. is there a possibility that anybody might want to slow the game down, or do y'all feel like it's just going to be a back and forth shootout style of game that we will have? Joe, I'll let you answer that first.
I watched his AFC Championship game. He was really using Eckler. He was breaking tackles, getting big runs. But me, I'm only gonna run the ball when I'm scared, to be honest. So, that's about it.
Bean?
Oh yeah, I was gonna pass 100% of the time this game. Probably wasn't gonna run at all, so I don't plan on changing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Bean, you faced some suspensions this season. You had the destruction of the Jets, and then you had a playoff game in which there was some technicalities. You had to get situated. You still won that game against the Jaguars, I believe.
Yep.
That it was. Okay. For you, like, how do you think that those suspensions helped you out for what you're about to deal with, for the game?
I think it helped me, fly under the radar a bit after I lost 3 straight games with Jacoby Brisket. People were starting to sleep on me, Jagoda included. I was falling down the power rankings, and kind of helped propel my playoff run. And obviously my wide receivers got suspended. Wasn't too worried though. Matt Collins had that dog in him, went out, destroyed Ken. Ken's a bum once again. I mean, yeah. Also, don't be forgetting those my rookies that got nerfed. I'll remember that, Jagoda. I'll let you know that. I'll remember that.
Jagoda, can you do me a favor and can you roll a clip for me?
I definitely feel like there is. Like, he might be a little nervous, but I got ice in my veins. I'm not gonna be nervous at all. I'll be slinging that rock. I'm gonna be locking up. Like,
Is
it's
he
gonna be a
here
blowout.
even
Like, I'm
rolling the
calling
clip or
it.
no?
Well, he's rolling the clip.
All right.
All right. So last season, prior to the Super Bowl, Joe, we just played the clip. You were very animated in how the game was going to go and what you were going to do to Ken. And I saw you mention you were going to tone it down this season. You were afraid of creating another clipping situation. Is there anything like what caused this change for you? Like, why? I understand you don't want to get clipped, but why?
You know what caused this change in me was losing to Ken in the Super Bowl. I saw that one clip in chat 80 times. I never pressed play on it. You just played it on the show. I took my headset off. Like, I'm never listening to that. It was like one of the lowest moments of my whole life. Not even in Madden, just my whole life. I couldn't let that happen again.
So I understand, that was a tough pill to swallow last Super Bowl. Is there anything that you learned, from like a game management perspective, I would say, last Super Bowl compared to what you'll do this time around? Or do you feel like, I'm going to do the same thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll never learn my lesson.
Okay. Yeah, respect. Excuse me. Bean, for you, like, what was the moment during the course of the season where you felt like, okay, I'm going back, or not, I'm going back, but like I got the Super Bowl team. Like, what was the moment where you're like, yeah, we're ready to compete for a Super Bowl?
I'd say probably after week 3, had a good win against Wade. Obviously, he should have been in the bowl last year because Ken got that fluke block field goal. Disgusting play. But I beat Jay Billo the week before that, too. Obviously, a great opponent that I respect. I beat Hamzilla, bring him back. But, yeah. Say after about week 3, I was feeling it.
For you, Joe, was there ever a moment in the season where you feel like, like this repeat is going to be hard for me, or was it pretty much like I'm a lock?
Ever since like probably, I'm always a lock. I run my conference every year, every Madden, every season. So I'd say probably week 1 after that first win, I'm like, yeah, I'm going back.
Okay. Bean. So obviously you played Joe one time this season. It was in the midst of the Herbert suspension, unfortunately. So you didn't have your guy, and it was a blowout. It was 66-17. What are things that you can pull from that game that you can like incorporate into this one? Like what were you able to pull from it?
Um, Nothing offensively, it was kind of, Jacoby Brisket, so couldn't do much there. But the defense did all right for the first half. After, Jacoby Brisket overthrew an RPO, I decided to call it quits, But we somewhat stopped the streaks for the first half. See what the game plan is. I don't know.
Okay. We have our international reporter. We're reporting live from ESPN Brazil. We have Revival, who is going to now take over the interviewing part. Revival, go ahead and come to the mic, please.
Well, I'll go with my first question will be to Bean. We'll chime in on the suspension thing. So obviously, no one's ever happy getting suspended players. Obviously, during the playoffs, we were pretty pissed off, which I totally get it. You know what I mean? I don't think you did it intentionally. Of course, part of the chat, part being the chat is to clown people and to mess around, but you were able to do something that everybody kind of had you crossed off for a minute, and we're not gonna lie here and bullshit and be like, hey, everybody's rooting for you. You had like a few people rooting for you, whatnot, but you were able to overcome that. Did you kind of like was like it's sort of like a game like you wanted to win? Like, I mean, you always want to win the playoff games, but this was like, no, I want to win this game. Like, even if I lose the next game, I want to win this game just to kind of be like, sort of like, excuse my French, sort of like a fuck you to everybody that like was attacking you in chat.
Yeah, I mean, after that rat decided to rat on me before our game because he was scared. It's not even like deep in was activated the game before. I didn't throw a single deep in ball to Mike Williams. So, it kind of made me mad. Really wanted to win that one. I don't even care anymore. I just wanted that win. Ben's an absolute bum. So, like I said, I wasn't really that worried. He sucks. He's terrible. He should probably leave the league. But, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I wanted to win that one.
Gotcha. I can understand that definitely. Kind of almost like fueling the fire a little bit. My next question is for Joe. So obviously, you've been here last year and people clowned you on the clip, when you thought it was going to be a blowout. And unfortunately, there was a couple plays in the beginning of the first half that kind of went against you. This Super Bowl, you seem a little bit more humble, but you still seem more hungrier. Is there anything you would probably do different during this Super Bowl than you did last Super Bowl, as far as game plan wise goes?
My game plan's always been the same. You just give it to my playmakers, Christian Watson, Allen Lazard. So my game plan really hasn't switched.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And then my other question would be to Bean here. Um, Obviously, you've only faced the Packers once, and so there's not really too much game film to kind of go off of that because that game, you had your backup quarterback in who was a bum. And once you're in those games where there's kind of blowout, you just kind of just like, yeah, whatever, you kind of throwing your hands in the air and just saying whatever, go on to the next week. Did you actually watch any game film on Joe to kind of prepare yourself, like with his playoff games or anything with the regular season?
Uh, Not really. Probably gonna get smacked around for it, but on MLB, like I said after that Ken game, I don't really care. He sucks. And I might go watch some film before this game in 20 minutes. So we'll see.
Gotcha. What about you,
You have a
Joe? Did
notebook.
you Alrighty. And what about you, Joe? Did you watch any game film of Bean and kind of like try to see what he likes to do and kind of strategize that in your game plan for Super Bowl?
I didn't like watch any film like over like one of his old games. I just like watched the AFC Championship. Got all my knowledge from that game.
Mm,
That's how I watched on him, for real. Not gonna lie.
gotcha. Alrighty. Um, so I guess this would be a question for both of you guys. Depending on the result, whether, obviously one of you is going to win, one of you is going to lose. What if either one of you win? Do you feel like the pressure is going to be more on you guys for next season, or do you kind of feel like, you got your one ring, it's all good. I can relax. We got 2 more seasons to go. Either one of you guys can start off answering that question.
You can go first, Bean.
Uh, even if I win this ring, I got a little bit more to prove. I got to beat Ken a couple more times. Uh, yeah, but I will be top of the league, obviously. Feel good. I'm gonna flex on Ken.
Gotcha. And what about you, Joe?
After this bowl, I really got nothing else to prove. It's about time I get one, but if I lose, then maybe next year.
Gotcha. Alrighty. That's pretty much all the questions I have. I mean, I don't want to ask too much because I don't want any of you guys to give away your game plan. I would rather watch you guys play and see how it plays out. It's definitely going to be an exciting matchup between you two. We don't have to lie. I mean, you guys are probably the two most dominant users in the league. Besides Bryce, being added on there. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see you guys play. So I don't have any other questions. If anybody else does, or if Dallas, I think he left. So I think we can go on to the next segment or whatnot. But good luck to both of you guys. Um, as far as in a game, and hope everything works out for you guys and whatnot. And obviously, one of you guys gonna be a winner, and one of you guys unfortunately gonna be a loser. And you know, but you guys obviously made it here, so that's definitely an accomplishment in itself. A lot of people don't even make it to the playoffs. Um, so with that being said, I think we can end the show on that. I don't think we have anything else left over. Guys, go into your locker rooms, prep. Put on your music. You know what I mean. Get your adrenaline rushing. Get ready, because in 15 minutes, you guys are gonna be playing in the bowl, and it's all gonna be going down at 8 o'clock on Snipes Television. So with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is your host, Revival, and we're checking out.
I definitely feel like there is. Like, he might be a little nervous, but I got ice in my veins. I'm not gonna be nervous at all. I'll be slinging that rock. I'm gonna be locking up. Like, it's gonna be a blowout. Like, I'm calling it.
Oh, 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 oh.
If you guys are still here, we did forget one segment. I'm gonna quickly go over it. Let's see. All right. Just me right now. So we did forget to go over the Super Bowl predictions. Real quickly, voted by admins. Wolfpack voted for OG Bean 35-21. Joe, get the fuck out of here, bro, dude. I'm banning him. One more time. All right. Wolfpack 35-21. OG Bean, Napalm, OG Bean 31-14. Ed 45-31. Young Money 38-35. And Jay Billa and Legends voted for Joe. And a prediction from our hosts, Dallas 49-41 for OG, and then Revival 42-28. So that is all. So see y'all next time.